All right, last round for tonight, and this is going to be my review on Saw, the final chapter, or as we know it, Saw 3D. Yeah. And this was the final chapter of the original Saw franchise before it got rebooted and had a spin-off. I'll get into that later. But anyway, this movie still has Hoffman as the mastermind. But let's get into that later. The way this movie begins really is kind of like a lover's triangle kind of thing, where it just has like these three people, two dudes and one gal, and this trap to me is probably one of the, I don't want to say worst looking, but some of the CGI and gore in here is really, really bad. Let's just say you see like a lot of pink blood instead of red blood. But it was part of that whole 3D gimmick. And I'm still rambling, but the trap I'm talking about is a lover's triangle where these two guys are like in front of like two circular saws, and they have to like decide who dies and who lives, but they have to decide if they want to save their girlfriend. Well, these two guys were with the same chick, and they end up surviving and just annihilating this chick with the circular saw. I mean, one of them does get cut, but they do work together, which is another smart decision, because they really didn't like this chick to begin with, and she's like strapped to like a table, and it just gets lowered closer to this saw. Well, she gets cut in half, and you see her intestines. Bloody goodness. But this trap is very lackluster and meh. But this whole movie centers around like a supposed Jigsaw survivor, and he's put to the test to determine if he can survive all of these tests. And the trap that like really stands out in this movie features four people, and you'll see a very familiar face. Chester Bennington is actually in this one, and he plays like a racist for the Aryan Brotherhood or something, and he's like literally glued to like the seat of a car, and he has to avoid crushing his girlfriend with a tire, and a guy that's like strapped to like a bumper with like his arms and his jaw, and then a guy strapped to like the garage. He almost makes it, but all he had to do is like pull like a lever to like release himself and everybody else. But he don't make it, and you see a bunch of gore, just gore, in here. And I think that was probably the best trap of the whole movie. But there's not much to go on here. You do get the return of Lawrence Gordon, and it is confirmed that he has been working with Jigsaw the entire time. And he actually gets Hoffman at the end. But the survivor in here, he was just like guilty of lying to people. He does get his comeuppance in the end, because he claimed that he like hung by hooks by his pectoral muscles, and he had to like save his wife from being boiled alive in a brazen bull. And you know what happens there? Huh. Not to mention, Jill Tuck actually becomes more of like a damsel in distress in this movie, and she ultimately gets the reverse bear trap, and you get to see what actually happens with that trap. Excuse me. This movie is kind of like a disappointing conclusion. Not only it was very repetitive, and it just kept going and going, and you knew that it wasn't really done. So this movie was just fine to me, and yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta say about Saw, the final chapter. Nothing much going on, just more traps and gore. But I would overall give Saw, the final chapter, I would give this like a C. So, not a bad movie, but it's definitely near the bottom for me. Okay, there we go. Those are my thoughts on Saw, the final chapter. And I got 2 more to bring to you. And then I can wrap up the Saw franchise before Saw X. But you will get those videos tomorrow. And yeah. That's all I got for this video and tonight. I'll see you guys tomorrow for Jigsaw, Spiral from the Book of Saw, an Expendables review, and possibly my book haul. But I think what I'm going to do is my next video is probably going to be my book haul, so I can get that out of the way, and I'll leave it at that. Alright guys, that's all I got for tonight. I'll see you guys tomorrow for more videos, and I just hit 100 subscribers as of yesterday. I really do appreciate all the views and support. I know it's a long way from what I really want, but 100 subscribers is not too bad. But I'm not like any of like the big guys I watch. I just do this by myself, and yeah. But anyway, thanks for the support, and keep hanging out with me every time I film a video. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and hit it, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Adios. Peace.